Hey there friends, David Paulides, Canadian Missing Project for Missing 411. This is the executive producer of the show. This is Huck. It's her channel, Huck TV. She's being a good girl. We went on a long hike today. Probably the warmest day so far. Got up to almost 70. And like I said before, she doesn't do well in the warm weather. Do ya, girl? Huh? And she just stares you in the eyes saying, oh, that's a good girl. He's a good girl. Oh yeah. He's a good puppy. Oh, you're a good girl. Daddy loves you. Yes, sir. And you got a lot of fans out there, Huck. They're barking and yelling and pawing at the TV. Oh, that's a good girl. That's a good girl. That's a good girl, yeah. So she'll hang out and give her comments and yawn and say, Dad, come on, hurry up. Right? You good girl. So we're going to get on with the show. Thanks for being here. And right off the bat, I want to thank somebody who sent in a very nice note and a contribution. Said, Dave, this is for your film. I don't need anything back from you. Just do another great film. I wish you the best. Thank you very, very much for the contribution to the film. All is appreciated. Comments about the film. We're going to get started on it as quick as we can. There are so many different variables in a film that have nothing to do with me. Availability of filming, availability of videographers, of sound people, of editors. I mean, it goes down the line, folks. I am just a small cog in that big wheel. I guarantee it won't take more than a year to make it. That's my promise. So we haven't even gotten the money yet from Kickstarter. So the clock hasn't started yet. People are sending me, well, I hope you're on it. And hey, we don't even have anything yet. Hold your taters. Be patient. So trust me. I'm going to work on this as hard as I can. One of you sent me a very interesting article. I'd never seen it before. It's 2 years old, but I don't care because I know it's right on key and it's very, very current issue, even though it's older. It's from ExaminerLive.com. It says, aliens have landed in Wales and are killing sheep, says UFO hunter. One of Britain's top UFO hunters believes extraterrestrial life has invaded Wales and has started killing its sheep. Helena Worth, 41, first became obsessed with UFOs since she first spotted one flying over her home several years ago. Now describing herself as a ufologist and amateur scientist, she has reported numerous sightings. The cause of sheep deaths in the Cambrian Mountains, which has often seen multiple carcasses spread several miles apart, have previously been blamed on big cats and the presence of the beast of Bont. But Helena said the evidence points to not being the case with otherworldly UFO explanations. She said, whoa. Hey. Hey. You just caused people to go crazy. Come on. Sit down. Come on, don't do that. Don't do that. Come on, sit down. Down. I don't know what the problem is. You didn't like that about killing sheep. I know that's your job. But no. The cause of sheep deaths in the Cambrian Mountains, which has often seen multiple carcasses spread several miles apart, has previously been blamed on big cats. She said with cattle and sheep mutilations, it's always very precise cut or marks, something an animal couldn't do. And there aren't often any footprints up to the animal, so there's no evidence that humans are responsible. So maybe it could have come from above. Gee, kind of sounds like Missing 411. For years, farmers in and around the Cambrian Mountains have feared a large cat is responsible for the brutal killings of livestock. Rumors of a large feline lurking in the Ceredigion area emerged as far back as the 70s when a series of sheep were found eaten. There have been numerous cases since, including the killing of 12 sheep and 81 in the village of Bont, giving the beast its name, and the slaughter of 20 in 2012. Earlier this year, farmer Jonathan Davies also reported the killing of sheep to cops. He said, 2 of my sheep were skinned. There was no actual body left, just the skin. It was so tidy, it was like someone had been there with a knife and skinned them. I'd never seen anything like it before. Only the head was left. Mr. Davies claims he was told by the police that a big cat could have been responsible for killing the yearling ewes. Reports of the latest incident is what has prompted Helena to come forward, who has claimed with a big cat theory wasn't plausible. And she said the time was now right to finally speak about her otherworldly experiences, as she has stopped caring what people think. She added, in the U.S. especially, you get a lot of cattle mutilations. True, more than sheep. You don't hear about the sheep. You hear about cattle a lot, but it's livestock in general. With these cattle, they are found the next morning by farmers. It has been only 1 or 2 in the herd, but they are clean cut with all the innards taken out. No blood is left on the ground, and there are no footprints leading up to the cattle. Animals would leave a mess. That is correct. If an animal is attacked and killed on the spot and eaten on the spot, there's blood everywhere. If there's no blood, that's not right. There are no innards and no blood. This is the theory of many UFOers, that they may be experimented on from above. When I saw in the local newspaper about the recent sheep mutilations saying it was a big cat, I knew it couldn't be. A cat would have left a mess, which is why others believe a UFO would be to blame. She claimed the previous sightings of orbs close to the attacks added weight behind her theory. She added there is something in Wales called the sheep mutilation corridor. Never heard that. It's in an area down Wales where these have occurred. We think UFOs are responsible, as orbs have been seen about the time and in the areas these mutilations have happened, both in Wales and in the US. I haven't really spoken outwardly until now, and I'm reaching an age where I don't really give a crap what people think anymore. Helena said she has spent her entire life looking up at the stars and now observes through her telescope, recalling her first UFO experience in December 2018. Said it was 6 o'clock in the morning. And because it was winter, it was pitch black outside. Then I noticed the other side of the valley, which is about 3/4 of a mile away, a very bright white yellow light. I knew there were houses there, and my initial thought was that there was a house on fire. I wondered whether I should drive over and find out what was going on. As I was deciding, the bright light started to move. It was a circular-like sphere. Then it stopped above some houses, and it was there for a few seconds. I thought I was seeing things, but then it started moving back to the east, the same straight line it was moving at between. I'd guess 20 to 30 miles per hour. As it was moving to the east, it started dripping like molten lava was dripping from it. And just before it went out of sight, the craft turned a bright red color and disappeared behind the trees. That dripping sensation she's talking about happens with a lot of UFO sightings. I've probably heard about it 10 to 20 times all over the world. Helena, who works for the Ceredian County Council, said on another occasion she saw similar orb-like spacecraft, which was bigger than a star but smaller than the moon. As she was driving back home from Alberion this year, she got a smaller and smaller. She said it got smaller and smaller as it moved west and then blinked out. She said it could not be a satellite because it moved freely rather than in one direction. Couldn't have been lightning in fair weather, and couldn't have been a meteor because it didn't burn up in the atmosphere. She added, so in my mind, I know it's something very, very unusual. If I were to take a guess, it'd be an extraterrestrial. Helena has logged all of her sightings in the Swansea UFO Network site, an offshoot of the U.S. group MUFON. She said, I look up more than I used to. She said, the vast majority of people go about their day looking straight ahead. I'll be looking up. Let's stop right there. The vast majority of the people look straight ahead, which is correct. I got so many hunters and hikers that say, oh, I've never seen any strange tracks out there. Are you looking? Are you looking in an area where there would be tracks? No, you aren't. I've taken people with me that are stunned what we'll find when they take me to their area. I never saw that before, Dave. I can't believe that. How did I miss that? Because you weren't looking. I've been interested in ufology since a very young age. I'm very passionate about it. My friend and I got used to seeing shooting stars and satellites, and we got to know that that was normal and what wasn't. So my interest all started from there. I believe there must be intelligent life out there. I just can't think it's inevitable. And also there's a possibility of ultra-terrestrials, what we would think of as aliens living on planet Earth, but out of sight. That is probably 99% of what people think are as aliens and extraterrestrials. They are living here now. They have been here for thousands of years. The vast majority of ufologists believe the aliens are living under our oceans, but out of sight. I've said that. And they're living in water out of sight. So, that's my news article for today. Get right into the missing persons cases. First of all, profile points. Some of you know them, some of you don't. Some people here just watch the videos, have never read a book, so they really never get the gist of what I'm talking about regarding profile points, because they don't hammer that home like I do in the books. Profile points. Canines can't pick up a scent, or people disappear with canines. I've said both. No scent trail. People disappear near water, are found in water, are found near water. No tracks, missing clothing, missing shoes. I'm going to go straight to it. Intellects, physicians, physicists, etc. Let's talk about physicists for a second. In my books, I've written about 7 different physicists. All were German. All were men. I have looked very hard and challenged people at every conference to find one physicist missing in the world that is not German. Nobody can find me one. End of the story. If you don't think that's odd, come tell me, and tell me why. Because there's physicists of all race, colors, sexes in the world. German men. The 2 cases today, both physicians, both German, both men. Both individuals from Germany. Both occurred in the last year within 35 days of each other. Both occurred in a foreign country, not in Germany. Yet both men worked in Germany. Giddy up. Now, a lot of people say, well, Dave, there's a lot of Germans. Well, then find me some physicians that are missing that aren't German in the last 35 days. Oh, yeah, I guess that would be tough, wouldn't it? Yeah. So why Germans? I get asked that a million times. I wish I had an answer. I have no idea. Yeah, Germany's had a lot of strange stuff go on. The Nazis invented a lot of unusual things. There's a lot of thoughts that the Nazis maybe had some help in what they developed. There's also rumors that, maybe at one of the poles there's an underground base. I've never seen any evidence of it, and there's a lot of rumors and there's a lot of phonied up pictures, but I haven't seen any evidence. I know you guys are going to send me and say, oh, well, this is a picture, I know this is true. Nah. Unless you can show it to me on Google Earth, forget it. So that's where we're going to start today. The first case, when I read the background on this man, I've read backgrounds on thousands of people. There are few people in the world that were as dedicated, as smart as this man. Marcus Maurer, 58 years old, disappeared July 31st, this last year, 2024, at 7 a.m. This is Marcus. Married, had 3 children, and his wife, Claudia, was a dermatologist physician as well. They had a vacation home in San Bartolomeo, Italy, near Lake Maggiore. He was a deputy director of the Institute of Allergy. He was also employed by Charité Hospital in Berlin. Focus of his work was on allergy and asthma and dermatology. Published hundreds of peer-reviewed articles. Did you hear that? Hundreds. Authored dozens of books. World-renowned author. He attended Harvard for pathology, and he worked at Boston hospitals for a period of his life. He was noted as bringing physicians together to work on projects. Not an easy thing to do, to bring hard-headed professionals together to work. He was able to do it. Recently, he was focusing on mast cells, M-A-S-T. Huck has a scratch. He went to medical school in Berlin. Marcus and Claudia were taking a short holiday at their vacation home at Bartholomew in Italy, near the Swiss border. On July 31st, he got up early. He said he was going to go take a hike, and he'd be back in the afternoon. And he was taking the Loop Trail to Mont Giove, 3,009 meters mountain, 3,009 foot mountain, not meters. Has gorgeous views. It's in the Pontine Alps. Please, I don't say this very often, don't correct me on my pronunciation. I'm all over the world all the time. Half the time I can't figure out how to pronounce something even if I looked it up. Now, if you're an expert in it, keep that expertise to yourself. Every time somebody misspells, misstates my name, I never correct you once. Not once. So let's just keep it. If you know how to say it, congrats. I'm good. Just because I don't know how to say it and I'm a dummy, keep it to yourself. All right, giddy up. So Marcus left at 7 a.m., was supposed to be home in the afternoon. He didn't come back. He knew the area quite well. He had hiked this loop trail several times. It was not a rough trail, and there was usually a lot of people on it. Well, once the Italians got notification he was missing, they sent their formal Italian rescue team with helicopters and FLIR out onto the trail and flew it for 5 days. Found nothing. Came back, talked to the wife. Claudia said, hey, he was in excellent health. There hasn't been absurdly bad weather. He should be able to still be alive. And they kept going. They interviewed his wife. They interviewed people on the trail. Claudia posted a 3,000 euro reward to keep the search going for her husband. Newspapers called this an extreme mystery. Well, the trails were searched, people interviewed, associates interviewed, his phone was pinged, nothing. 38 days after Marcus disappears, an Italian rescue team was training in the Alp Pizzoca region, and this is why I despise working foreign country cases. I translate everything. Google Translate, I translate it all. I read all the articles. The articles are so different in foreign countries, it's ridiculous. You don't know what's true and what's not. One report stated that they were training in an area, which is normal, everyone trains, and they found his body sitting on the bank of a river. Another article said a bank of a creek. Neither said the creek or the river. And another article said that they were training and they came across a pile of logs in the river. And they dismantled the pile of logs and they found his body underneath the logs. I don't know what's true. I don't know what's credible. And then they said that there was going to be an autopsy. I worked for 4 hours trying to figure out what the results were of the autopsy, and I couldn't figure it out. I don't know. Well, I blame journalism in these foreign countries for the journalists aren't asking the tough questions. Numerous sources had limited information. Now, reporters have to ask the same questions I'd be asking myself. What was he doing in a river? How did he get in the river? Were the search and rescue teams looking in that area and training because of Marcus's case? Or were they just randomly searching and they stumbled onto his body? Friends, don't take circumstances for granted. You notice how I just said to you everything I could find on this case, and nobody thought it was unusual until they found the body, and then, oh, he must have fallen in the river. But how many times have I told you about these brilliant people all of a sudden found in water? Oh yeah, that's right. I'd want to know what kind of injuries he had. Did he have any broken bones? A million questions. Somebody this smart, worldwide, high level of intelligence known by everyone in the world, just gets shook off. Well, he fell in the river, he's dead. It's like nobody wants to know. So here's where his summer cabin was. And then he was taking a loop hike to this location right here. This is the lake I was telling you about. Found in water. He lived on water. Just saying. Just saying, folks. You can keep discounting it all you want. I'm telling you. The next case. Another German. Another physician. Wolfram Mibler, 67 years old, went missing September 4th of this last year. So, Marcus disappeared July 31st. Now we have September 4th. Wolfram lived alone. He had 2 sons, and he was a cardiologist in Grebenheim, Germany. Health was excellent, loved the outdoors, loved hiking, enjoyed the trees, the fauna. He was known by his family to go all over the world and hike just to enjoy the outdoors. The last few years he had traveled to Yugoslavia, Bosnia-Herzegovina, specifically flew into Sarajevo, had a good time, enjoyed the country, enjoyed the outdoors. Well, Wolfram had a long weekend, decided to fly into Sarajevo, but didn't tell anybody. He flew in, rented a car, and was scheduled to be home on September 5th. Well, when he wasn't home and he had appointments, his longtime assistant went to his home, found he wasn't there, and contacted his son. Now again, nobody knew he was going anywhere. But when you're single and you're a world traveler, going to these places in Europe is like going to another state here. It'd be like me flying from Montana to Colorado. No big deal. Huck has a scratch. She usually doesn't have scratches. So his son Sebastian was notified by his assistant. And Sebastian first tried to ping his phone. Nothing. Tried calling him. Nothing. Found out and said, I know he had been going to Sarajevo a lot in the last couple of years. So he called a friend that he had in Sarajevo and said, hey, can you find out if my dad rented a car at Eurocar? Because that'll tell me if he's there. And they did, and he did. And then they found the flight he was on. He missed the flight coming home. And the car he had rented because it was overdue in Europe, when you don't bring your car back, there's not like a grace period. Immediately it's reported as stolen. And the car was reported as stolen. Well, the rental car agency just so happened that the guy working there was a hiker as well, and said, hey, I remember seeing your dad, and we even greeted each other on a trail a day before he was reported missing. So Sebastian flew up there, rented a car himself, and went to the place where his friend said that he had seen his dad. And it was in a place called Konjik. And they went there and they found the rental car parked at the trailhead. Search and rescue, Sebastian immediately called for search and rescue, and they went and they started searching. This is Wolfram, cardiologist, 67 years old, perfect health, single man, loved the outdoors. Well, Sebastian said that search and rescue responded, they were concerned, and they deployed people. Being a smart man that Sebastian was, he went to the German embassy in Sarajevo and requested assistance from the Germans on a more technical search. The embassy came back to him and said something that is complete garbage. Germany said that they can't get involved in another country's internal affairs. Bull. Out and out lie. Let me tell you the truth. One country can't always call up one prime minister to another, say, hey, we have one of your citizens, we have one of our citizens missing in your country. Can we send over some helicopters and some expert tracking dogs? We won't get in your way, we just want to help. I have yet to hear another country say no. Germany just doesn't want to do it. And that's the truth. Well, Sebastian tried, and he said that the German embassy just wasn't interested in helping. Unbelievable for a prime-time citizen of their country. They just disposed of him. Now, Sebastian did say that the mountain rescue team in that area worked the area diligently for weeks. They continually expanded out. He said they seemed to be doing everything right. They worked a confined area around the car at the beginning. They weren't finding anything, kept moving out. They said that on October 6th, the search was stopped because of serious storms in the area. This is Sarajevo, right here. This is the area that he went missing in. And this area does have a lot of beautiful forests and woods. Now, I have a friend that's family is in Sarajevo. And I've seen pictures, and I can tell you, it's gorgeous. Really, the country's beautiful. It's horrible what happened there, but on my bucket list. Now, local newspapers have been carrying things about Wolfram. And many articles call this a true mystery what happened to him. They pinged his phone in the area, no response. Sebastian has said that his dad was in great spirit, happy, practice was going great, he had no money issues. He's confused about what happened. Issues, and I say this in many of my videos, and I don't think it doesn't resonate sometimes. Always, always, always tell someone where you are going, when you'll be back. And in this instance, it delayed the search and rescue probably a week. In that week, a lot of things can happen. If you broke your femur out on a trail and you're not moving because it's too painful, well, you could live 4 or 5 days max with no water. Then you're dead. So if that search doesn't get going for a week and you're in that position, you're dead. Always give a full itinerary to a loved one or to a work associate that you truly trust will do something if you don't come back. I've said this before, I'll say it again. A PLB, personal locator beacon, always carry one, especially if you're traveling alone. Many of the cell phones these days have essentially PLB capabilities built into them because they work off satellites. And if I was going to buy a new cell phone, I would switch and go to one of those companies. If I was an outdoorsman, there's no doubt in my mind I will. Now, Wolfram still hasn't been found since September of 2024. Nobody knows what happened to him. Now, in the vast majority of the physicist and physician cases that are German, these people are never found. Having Marcus found in water was unusual. Not that people aren't found in water, that's normal. But having a German physician found in water, that is unusual. Again, I don't like reporting on cases where I can't fill in all the gaps. Because I know there's people out there from those countries that may be able to find links and things that will fill in those gaps, and it makes me look inferior. But I don't care. I think it's important that we talk about these. If you're somebody in an area, I don't care where you're at, what country, and you know about a missing person case, and even if it loosely fits our profile, send it in to me at missing411@yahoo.com. Missing411@yahoo.com. I read all the cases. Some people get upset. Well, I sent you this and you didn't respond. I can't respond to everything. And my apologies. I never said I would respond to everything. I said I would read everything, and I do. So be patient with me. I'm balancing like 5 balls at once. I've got a film. I've got a YouTube channel. I've got books I'm writing. I've got books I'm selling. I've got conferences I'm going to. And I've got a cruise coming up November of this year. If you go to Gather Up Events, Gather Up, one word, Gather Up Events, the Caribbean Bigfoot Cruise, you'll want to go. It's going to be a blast. If you want to show up a day early, we're going to take a day-long event, and we're going to bus out, and we're going to see a location that's been on my bucket list for a long time. Coral Castle in Florida. Coral Castle. It's a strange place built by one man during the dark at night over a long period of time. He did things that engineers today still don't know how he did it, and they can't fix it. It's true. So we'll go out there. Maybe we'll have a catered dinner out there or something and kind of make it a long afternoon and have some fun. But there'll be one busload of people that go. Hope you can make it. And that'll be in conjunction with the cruise. On the cruise, we're going to have Maurer, Jeff Meldrum, and myself as speakers. And there'll also be breakout sessions for me and Jeff and Mariah along on those days when we're at the ocean and there's nothing to do. And you can sign up for those as well. And those breakout sessions, I'm going to blow your socks up with one or two of those. Nobody knows except the organizer what I'm doing. And I guarantee it will shake up the world. Never been done before. Trust me on that. I'm also showing up in Bozeman, Montana in the very near future. NeoCon, N-E-O-Con, NeoCon. Tim Alberino is putting it on. Got some great speakers. I'm not going to a lot of things this year because I've got too many things personally I've got to get done, you know, what I just mentioned to you. So I'm not going to a lot of conferences. Neocon, and then I'm going to the event in Utah in September. And then the cruise. I think that's it. And that's really too much. Huck told me, Dad, don't leave me alone too much. Don't you do that. People said, well, why'd you bring Huck on the cruise? Oh my gosh. Huck on the cruise. First of all, you can't bring dogs on boats. But in that atmosphere, hot, humid, oh, she'd be in misery. She would, this is what she'd do. She'd want to sit back in my room over the air conditioning vent, and she wouldn't want to move. So, anyhow, thanks for being here. I greatly appreciate you. And please share the video on your social media. And if you like the video, give us thumbs up. Comment. I read all the comments. And remember, kindness is the key to this world. If we can't be kind to each other, what are those UFO aliens thinking of us if we can't get along as a species? Some countries are always at war. I don't want to be associated with that. I'd rather be a kind person and just get along. Be safe, be kind. Paulides out.